Circles always small, keep a certain few, only ever us, just the perfect crew. People ask for...
What's up everyone, welcome to a new video. Today we're going to dive into Bosnian football history, as you may have guessed by the title of this video. I don't do those clickbaits, you know? I don't do those clickbait. Maybe sometimes I do a little bit, just a little bit. So maybe you have heard of us, maybe you haven't heard of us, because since we have become an independent country from Yugoslavia, we didn't perform that well in our football history. We were mostly unlucky, didn't qualify for any big tournaments until let's say the last 10 years, where we actually got onto some stages and actually got some respect and acknowledgement from the rest of the world, which also led to us being pretty high on the FIFA rank list. I think we were somewhere in the top 30 or something for a pretty long time. First big competition where we really got close to was the Euro Cup in 2004, where in 2003 for the qualifiers we played against Denmark and we lacked only one goal to qualify for the Euro Cup.
Baljić otvara se, Barbarez, vidio je to Baljić, evo Barbareza, velika prilika za Bosnu i Hercegovinu i gol! 1-0 za Bosnu i Hercegovinu na Parken stadionu!
One of the best players and one of the best players in the Bosnian history that scored a goal on that day was Sergej Barbarez. During his career he played for mostly German clubs like Dortmund and stuff. He never became a manager, but he was so loved by the fans because he was this really patriotic guy. He had these real rules and respect and was really this really good guy that represented the whole team and actually also the fans in the stadium. We did not qualify because we lacked one goal, but nevertheless, after Sergej Barbarez quit a couple of years later, we had this really young and upcoming team of players that were performing very well internationally seen. For example, we had the golden duo Misimovic and Džeko at Wolfsburg. And they were this scoring machine with Misimovic on the assists and Džeko on the goals. They won so many hearts, and a lot of Wolfsburg fans and German fans still really love Džeko and Misimovic. So much actually that when they played against Manchester City, where Džeko was playing after he went away from Wolfsburg, fans from Wolfsburg started chanting his name and actually had like shirts and messages for him, we love you Džeko, etc.
Immer noch schöner, warmer Empfang in Wolfsburg für Edin Džeko. Und hat hier noch so viele Freunde und Anhänger. So macht man das. Hat nie ein schlechtes Wort im Nachhinein.
That just shows how much respect they deserve, even if they're not really known to the world. Džeko actually is right now. I'm gonna come back to that later. And we had like more of these really shit tournaments and qualifying rounds where we just were so unlucky, losing playoffs to Portugal twice in a row actually for the Euro and the World Cup. So that's actually, yeah, it's just sad. We couldn't do anything about that. I mean, we were just unlucky, and we have been for a very long time. 2012 we got really close. We were battling against France and we had to qualify for the Euro Cup, and we were 1-0 ahead. Then if we would have a draw, we did not have enough points to qualify and we had to go to the playoffs, which we actually lost, which was again Portugal. But the reason why we lost was also really unlucky. The ball was still out of the penalty area, and I think it was Spajic who wanted to shoot the ball away. It was Samir Nasri, and then the leg came between his legs and he flew all the way into the 16. Well, it was like quite a meter or something, flew into the 16 in the penalty area, and the referee decided to give a penalty, which made it a 1-1 against France. Which sent us to the playoffs, which we lost, and France to the Euro Cup. So we were really unlucky, really mad. Still a lot of people are really mad about that. I think it was 20,000 Bosnian fans traveled to the game in Paris, which is just ridiculous. 20,000 people traveling to an away game in 2014 to watch the team win and qualify for the first time in history for a big cup, which just went to shit. So you can imagine people were not that happy. So for the qualifiers, World Cup qualifiers in 2014, Bosnia was put into a group with Greece, Slovakia, Lithuania, Latvia and Liechtenstein. And Greece is one of our, let's say, biggest enemies when it comes to qualifiers. We've been in the same rounds for so many times, and it's every time a really very tight game because Greece is a really defensive team and Bosnia is a really offensive team. So it always just clashes so hard in the stadium, like between the fans and also between the players. There's really this big ass tension. We finished first above Greece in the pool with 30 goals out of 10 games. So in 10 games we scored 30 goals. We had 1 draw and 1 loss, and Greece was second with only 12 goals. So we scored 30 goals for qualifiers. So all our results were like 5-0, 5-0, 8-1 victories, which is just ridiculous for a qualifying team for the World Cup. And I think it was the most goals scored for a qualifying team in the history of qualifying for World Cups. That's something that they said on the TV while the tournament was going on. So a bit about the managers. The manager that brought us there was Safet Sušić, better known as Pape. He's one of the midfielders of ex-Yugoslavia. Really known, scored a lot of goals, really internationally known. He played for Paris Saint-Germain for almost his entire career. So good that on February 2010, France Football chose Safet Sušić as the best player in the history of Paris Saint-Germain, ahead of players such as Carlos Bianchi, Mustafa Daleb, Ronaldinho, George Weah, Joel Bats, Ray, Luis Fernandez, and more other famous players. So dominated the midfield. Some players even stated that I was running on a position where Sušić would hit me with the ball and the ball would go in without me even doing something, or without me even noticing that the ball just hit me. So he was really a good player and he could just cross really good, had really good assists, a good view on the field. So he became the manager of Bosnia and did really well. But after we qualified and went to the World Cup, for some reason he changed our complete tactics, which was so good at winning in the qualifiers, which just got us into this chaos on the field, and our World Cup turned into a disaster instead of something really positive. Nevertheless, we celebrated for qualifying really, really big. The Day of Independence, qualifying for the World Cup, has become a national, most important day of the country in its history. So that just shows how much effort and how much we put into football and how much we actually love football in the country. Our current trainer is Mehmet Bajdarevic. He's not really a big name internationally seen. He played for some smaller clubs but had a lot of goals, and also played for the ex-Yugoslav team, also played in Yugoslavia for a international cup. Can't remember which one, I think it's 84. There was one more coach before Safet Sušić that was, well, a good player, not really a good coach, which was Miroslav Blažić, and he took Croatia to the European Cup in 1996 and actually finished 3rd place on the World Cup in 1998. So he was doing pretty good, but he didn't do good with Bosnia. So after him we got Sušić and Mehmet Bajdarevic. And those are the biggest 3 coaches, names to say so, with accomplishments that actually coached Bosnia. So the biggest names that we had in the Bosnian football: Zvezdan Misimović, Edin Dzeko, Emir Spahić, Ralem Pjanić, Vedat Ibišević, and Senad Lulić. A newer and younger player that's coming up is Muhamed Bešić. Edin Dzeko started his career at Wolfsburg together with Zvezdan Misimović, and they became a golden duo where they got a lot of respect, which I mentioned. Senad Lulić currently plays for Lazio, has been playing for Lazio for most of his career. Spahić is not really a known footballer, internationally seen. I think that his best time was in Germany for Bayer Leverkusen, where he had a lot of respect. He has the most appearances for Bosnia so far, and he was the captain for Bosnia for a long time as well. Begovic is on the goal, really known keeper and one of the best currently for his age, etc., considering that a lot of good keepers are really old right now. Played a long time for Stoke City, and his club currently is Chelsea, which is well, a pretty known club to say so. Edin Dzeko is our top goal scorer of all times in Bosnia. He currently plays for AS Roma, played for Manchester City in the past, so one of the most loved persons I think now in AS Roma. He had some pretty amazing goals and pretty important goals for Manchester City, for Wolfsburg, and now for Roma, because he's currently, well, filling the footsteps of Totti. Francesco Totti. They were a good duo, and since Francesco stopped, now all the shine is going to Dzeko, and they really love him there. So I hope you guys learned a bit about the Bosnian football history, about our World Cups, why we didn't qualify when we did qualify, our managers, what their history is, and our best players currently known and playing in big leagues across the world. So if you like this video, don't forget to leave a like down below, subscribe to my channel and click on the notification bell if you want to see more of my content coming up and don't want to miss out on that, of course. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Ciao!